Okay, hello everyone. Am I in the middle of the frame? I don't know. Welcome back to my channel. I have been binge watching palette bingo videos and I just was like, why not do one of my own with one of my favorite eyeshadow brands, Blend Bunny. I have the perfect amount of palettes. I have 6 palettes. Normally for palette bingos, I choose 6 shades anyway, so I'm going to choose 1 shade from each palette. So to start off, just to recap, I have the All Done Up palette from Blend Bunny, which is like neutral, a grungy neutral. I have the Dollhouse palette, which is very dirty because it's very well loved. Gorgeous. The Lure palette, which also is stunning. The Surge palette. We know her and we love her. The Primal palette, which the more I use it, the more I fall in love with it, which is so sad because it is discontinued. And then finally, the most recent addition to my Blend Bunny collection, the Sugar and Grunge, which is absolutely delicious. So that's what we have going on. So I'm gonna move to the side. Okie dokie. So the All Done Up palette has 20 shades. I'm gonna generate the number. We got the shade 15. 15, that's the shade Goddess, which is a dark brown, which definitely I can work with. Not the most exciting color, but a dark matte I'm not going to complain about, that's for sure. Next up we have the Sugar and Grunge palette, which has 24 shades. I got the shade 18, which is Garage Band, which is a dark green matte. Also not mad about that particularly. Works very well. How many shades does the Primal palette have? 6, 12, 18, 24, 25, 26. So 26. We got the shade 8. So 6, 7, 8, which is the shade Untamed, which is a bright orange. And I can also really work with that as well. Okie dokie. So next up is the Surge palette, which has 30 shades. And then we got the shade 29, which is the shade Energy, which is one of the neons, the neon blue. What a color story we have. I'm kind of into it though. Okay, so Lure is up next. There are 24 shades in Lure. I'm really not doing this in any particular order. We have the shade 24, which is the shade The Deep. Ooh, this is kind of turning out pretty well, actually. Okay. All matte though, so let's see if we can get a shimmer with the Dollhouse palette. Okay, so the Dollhouse palette also has 30 shades. And there's 2 rows of shimmers in here, so, oh wait, no, okay, 30. 30, generate 29, we got a shimmer! The shade Little Sister, which is a pink. Interesting. I don't know if what my initial thought is just to kind of do a 2-toned crease and put this on the lid, which I think could be fun, and I think likely that's what I'm going to end up doing. I don't know if that's like the obvious choice, but I also kind of want it to look good. So yeah, let's see if I can remember all the shades. So I'm just gonna kind of plan in my mind a little bit what I'm gonna do, and then I will be back and we can start the look. And wait, I'll zoom in. And I will pull in a matte black and something for my inner corners. Okay, it's gonna happen. Sucks to suck if you're mad about it. So I'm going to start darkest to lightest. I'm going to start with the shade Garage Band from the Sugar and Grunge palette. None of my brushes are particularly clean. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to start off with the shade Garage Band. Also, for reference, I've primed with the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Amplifying Eye Primer. And I'm just going to stamp this in my outer corner and halfway through my crease. This is the, I haven't done a 3 Looks 1 palette with Lure or, actually with a lot. I'm really behind on my 3 Look 1 palette videos. I really want to get better about those. But basically, I haven't used Lure or Sugar and Grunge extensively. All the other palettes from Blend Bunny, the other two, I'm pretty familiar with. But these two, I'm excited to use shades from them. Even though I feel like this color story is a little bit odd, I think it like kind of goes together in a weird way. Honestly, the biggest thing that's throwing me off is the pink shimmer. Okay, next up I'm going to take the shade Goddess, which is this dark brown matte from the All Done Up palette. And I'm going to put this in the, oop, this is really pigmented, in the front part of my crease. Okay, so then from the Lure palette, I'm going to take the shade The Deep, which is this dark, like navy, but it's like kind of brighter than a navy. Anyway, I'm going to blend this along the edge of the green. They're not, it's like a little bit lighter, but not really. It'll be like the in-between the green and the brighter blue that I'm going to use. Okay, and now from the Primal palette, I'm going to take the shade Untamed. And I'm going to blend out the brown with this. I think I'm going to have to go like back and forth a lot because the brown is really dark and really pigmented and the orange is not so much that. So just to kind of have to like go back in between, I might mix the two at some point, and I'm not gonna blend that much. Obviously between the blue and the orange because I don't want them to get too muddy. And then I'm gonna dip back into the shade Goddess and blend a little bit more. I might even mix the two actually now that we're here, just because I want there to be more of a blend between Goddess and Untamed. Okay, I think I'm gonna go back over that when I've blended out the blue. So now I'm going to go into the Surge palette and take the shade Energy and blend out the blue. I feel like this looks kind of weird, but it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Okay, so I cut my crease just because, I don't know, I felt like it was looking a little bit messy or something. I wasn't really vibing with it. But now I'm going to take some NYX glitter primer and tap this over where I cut my crease. And then I'm going to take the shade Little Sister, which is this pink shade, the shimmer, and put this all over my lid. And then I'm going to take Little Sister on my finger, intensify that. I don't know that I'm obsessed with this so far, but that's okay. I think it's interesting, kind of fun, but also a bit odd. So I'm going to clean up the shape. I'm going to do my base, and then I will be back and we will do the lower lash line together. Okay, so I did my base. I feel like it's coming together a little bit more. I'm still not fully convinced of it, but we'll figure it out. For my blush and highlight, if you're wondering, I used the Makeup by Mitchell Blursh Liquid Blusher in the shade Shit. Not in the shade Shit, but I will figure it out. Oh no, it's Melon Sorbet. It's Melon Sorbet. That's what it is. And then I also used the Blend Bunny, of course, Noctilucent highlighting palette. I used the shade Enlighten, and then I used the Blend Bunny Bare Cheeks blush palette, and I used the shade Makin Me Blush. That's all. Okay, so let's do my lower lash line. I'm going to take the shade Garage Band, which was the dark green, and stamp this underneath the outer half of my lower lash line. Then I'm going to take the shade Goddess from the All Done Up palette and put this on the front part, or the front half of my lower lash line. Then I'm going to take the shade The Deep from the Lure palette and blend over the edge of Garage Band, just like I did on my top lid. And then I'm going to take Energy from the Surge and blend the edges of everything out. And then I'm going to take the shade Untamed from the Primal palette and stamp this along the front part of my lower lash line. Okay, so I feel like it's looking alright. Not so bad. I think honestly it would look good if we had a different color shimmer on the lid, but we don't, so we move. Now I'm going to allow myself to take a matte black. I'm just going to use the shade Nocturnal from the Primal palette, but any black would do. And I'm just going to stamp this in my outer corners. And then I think the shade that I'm going to take for my inner corners is the shade Lace from the Dollhouse palette. Just because I want it to be like neutral, and this is basically just like a white shimmer. I'm going to give that a spray so it sticks a little bit better. And I'm also going to put a little bit of that on my brow bone as well. Whoops! Not that much. Okay, so that's where I'm going to leave it. I'm going to finish off the rest of my face, do my brows, and come back and show you the finished look. Okay, and this is the finished look. I actually think I managed to pull it together in the end. I did draw these arrows. They were lines. I had a vision, and then I hated the way it looked. And I'm not fully convinced of this either. I am trying to get more into graphic liner and stuff, and then sometimes it happens where I hate it. But then I was like, do I really want to like wipe off my entire base just so I can get rid of these? No. So I'm just gonna like go with it. I feel like it's just like trial and error, but if you like, you know, don't look at those, I feel like this eye look is actually kind of fun. I like the blue and the orange together. I'm still not fully like in love with the pink, but it's literally the cards we were dealt. But yeah, on my lips, which is the same as these little freaking arrow things, I have the ColourPop Ultra Matte Lip in the shade What's the Stitch with the NYX lip liner in Espresso. I love doing palette bingos. I think they are really, really fun. I hope you enjoyed watching this as well, and I want to continue to do them with other brands that I have multiple palettes of, like Odin's Eye, Kaleidos, what else? Beauty Bay I've done before, but I can do it again. I have so many Beauty Bay palettes. Even Glamlit I could do, Juvie's Place, Melt, Pat McGrath, BH Cosmetics. Like, there's so many that I could do, so I want to continue to do them. And also it kind of pushes me out of my comfort zone a little bit because it forces me to pair different colors and do different things and think outside of the box a little bit. So yeah, I really, really love this look. Minus the fucking stupid ass graphic liner arrows that I made, but you know, it's okay. I don't like hate it. I do. I actually do hate these, but they're on my face and I really like the rest of the look, so say lovey. Anyway, let me know if there's a brand in particular that you would like to see from me in terms of palette bingos in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and I would love to see you in my next video. Bye!